Newsstand, Library, and Robert Bonfils, Good Girl Art, Vintage Paperbacks. Hi, I'm Gary Lovisi, and this time we're going to take a look at Newsstand Library books. Most of them had cover art by the artist Robert Bonfils, who was very collectible, who was a great artist, did magnificent good girl art covers, and did a lot of covers, probably 1,000 or so. Newsstand Library was published by Newsstand Library, Magenta Books out of Chicago. They started with number U101, and they went to number 524 in 1958, and they lasted till about 1962. In between those numbers, though, there were a lot of books that weren't published. They had open areas in their list of the number of books. So it's probably about 208 titles all together were published. I have probably about 60 or 70 of them I'm going to show you, plus 3 others at the end that are very special. And we're going to take a look at them now. I'm going to just go through them in order. And down here, this is number 102, Fraudulent Broad, and it's Robert Bonfils, and you can see his signature. Usually his signature is on a lot of the books. Demands of the Flesh. This is not Bonfils, this is by Stake. There are some other artists that did cover art in the novel Newsstand Library series. Any Two Can Play. Obsessed. That's obviously a photo cover. This is another Strake cover. 6 for Flight 13. Plane Crashing. The Evil Ear. She Had to Be Loved. Veil of Torment. The Yellow Press. Not all of these are Bonfils, but many of them are. The Censored Screen. Agreement for Love. Carnal Greed. And these books were sleaze, good girl art, but also mixed with noir, crime, political corruption, big city corruption. Black Desire by Robert Hayes, for instance. Number U129 is Each Morning Remembering and Remorse, Yet Each Night a Black Desire. Arrivederci Ava, beautiful cover, Bonfils. Bonfils, when he was on, did some really beautiful, beautiful women. The Wanton One by James Rubel. Her Mother's Husband. She Was Too Rich, Much Too Beautiful, and Marched for a Terror Worse Than Death. Bogus Lover. That really cool Bad Girl cover by Bonfils. And Come Sin With Me by George Tward, another Bonfils cover. And take a look at the rest of these now. Move these up. Bonfils did some amazing, amazing art. And he was a really, really nice guy. My wife and I met him at the LA Paperback Show in 2003 at Tom Lesser's home. And he signed some books for me. And he is a really, really great guy. He had, at the time he was retired, he'd probably done over 1,000 covers for books. And here we'll take a look at another one of his, Torch of Desire. Devil's Caress by Della Wand. Robert Bonfils, you can see his name here. Diploma of Passion. Cavern of Rage. These are really nice, these Newsstand libraries. The Wicked Wife of the Bonfils. Creature of Sin by Albert Glaser. Deadly Desire by Edward Booth. Good Time Girl by Jack Allen. Mr. Madam. Crack Up by March Hastings. The torment of a woman frustrated in marriage, torn between desire and compassion. So that Crack Up. Amorous Avenger by Roy Kelsey. Another Bonfils cover. Affair on Board. I'm not sure if that's Bonfils or not. A Matter of Adultery by Don Lee. The Third Theme by March Hastings. That's Bonfils, is signed over here. So Strange Our Love by Joseph Herron. Family Affair by Keith Vining. Chasm of Lust. You Can't Escape Me by John Tyler. Woman falling out of a building, upside down, naked. And that's some more of the Newsstand libraries. And take a look at the last group that I have. Portrait in Torment, number U-163 by Edgar A. Martin. And it's a Bonfils cover, signed down here, and it's a cover art showing an artist painting his model. Bedroom Alibi by Paul Kruger. Sex is Like Money by T.A. Maschici, and it's a nice cover. Naked woman on a horse, riding a horse, and it is a Bonfils cover, and it is signed. Make It on Temple Street is a sleaze drug book, crime drug book. Anything Goes by Robert Carney. Beautiful Bonfils cover, one of his best. Blackmail and Old Lace by Thomas Vale. And this is a Bonfils cover, and it's signed. So he did books in different styles of art also. Some of the books, some of the Regency and Corneth books, he did cover art on the pulp reprints that Corneth published, and the 0008 and That Man, and some of those. Some of the other, he did the covers for those, but he also did some in a very different style that a lot of times people didn't think it was him, but he did in that style. So he was a very versatile artist, and sometimes did covers in various styles that today you wouldn't think of that it was him who did them. Next one is Sinful Cowboy. Whirlpool of Thunder by Warren Carroll. That's Bonfils, and his signature is down there. Number U-175, great title, Jambalaya Loverman by J.L. Potter. Another Bonfils cover, the signature there. 4 O'Clock on Friday by Philip Story, another Bonfils cover. The signatures here. Deadly Deceit by Paul Curtis. I don't see his signature, but I'm sure it's a Bonfils. Doomed Sinner by Dan Brennan. Sexy Psycho by Lillian Dowling. Great title, great cover, and Bonfils cover, and it is signed down there. Backseat Lover. Satan's Mate by George H. Smith. Serenade to Seduction by Tom Martin. That's also a Bonfils cover, which is signed down here in the corner. Number 509, The Beckoning Flame. I believe this is Bonfils also, and this is quite a different style from his usual. Playhouse of Passion is the next one. Number 512, Only Her Body for Sale by Vince Del Rocco. And the last one that I have here is number 519, is Lust for Youth by Warner Jackson. And those are the just a taste of some of the roughly 208 Newsstand library books that were published, and many with Bonfils cover art. I've kept 3 out because these are 3 of the best ones. These are kind of expensive money books, and they're all by Charles Willeford, and they all have Bonfils cover art. Number U-137 is The Woman Chaser by Charles Willeford. Number U-170 is Understudy for Love, and these came out in 1960-61. And number U-182 is No Experience Necessary. So there's the 3 tough, very collectible, very sought after paperback original Charles Willeford sleaze noir crime novels with Bonfils cover art. And the last thing is I just want to say a few words about Robert Bonfils. Really nice guy, really sweet guy. When I met him, we had spent some time together, and it was really something I'll always remember. He was very gracious, very friendly. He was suffering from carpal tunnel syndrome at the time, but he did, at the time, he did some repaintings of his classic paintings for book covers for some of the collectors, and this was a way he would earn some money that defray some of his costs and everything at the time. And he painted about 6 of these for various collectors. One of them is for he did for me, of Earl Kemp, and it was one of the Dr. Death books, where Earl Kemp was the model, and he did another 4 or 5 others. He came to Tom Lesser's show in L.A. in 2003. Was a great guest. It was fun to meet him. We met him at Tom's house before the show, and at the show. And then I just want to show a picture of Robert Bonfils with me. I had a little bit of extra weight on me at that time, but you could see Bonfils how he looked. He was in good shape then. He was healthy, and it was a pleasure to meet him. He was a really, really great guy, and he told me like how much he loved doing art, and he stopped doing it because in the 70s, in the late 70s, the good girl art, the sleaze and good girl art became more graphic and more pornographic, and he didn't really like the direction that the adult paperback books cover art was going. It had lost the innocence and the kind of funny, campy risque-ness that it had in the books that I just showed you in the Newsstand library books, and it became more influenced by fetish themes. That some of them were and violence, and a little more harsh and a little more cruel, and he didn't like that, and so he did some of the books that they told him to do, the covers in that era, but then he just basically just says, you know, I don't really like doing these. I'm not happy with it, and he kind of retired, and it was, I think Bob Sperry actually found him. He was living in California, and Bob brought him out to the attention of paperback collectors, and you know, throughout the country, who were big fans of his, and he never knew that people admired his work so much, and you know, it was a wonderful thing for him to get this recognition by all the fans and book collectors. At Tom Lesser's house that evening in 2003, the day before the show, he must have signed, I don't know, 200 or 300 books, probably just for Tom alone. But he's all the Corneth Regency pulp reprints from 1965, 66, all the 0008 books. I mean, he did so many covers that it's amazing. Probably over 1,000. Probably over 1,000. But he was a great guy, and he did a lot of the Newsstand libraries, and it's just, I just wanted to kind of clue you in on this series of books, but also the artist who made them popular and collectible, because they sold because of Bonfils' artwork, and he put a lot into these earlier, this is his earlier stuff, and he put a lot into this earlier cover art, and it shows. Really beautiful stuff. And he's a great guy. He was a really nice guy. It's a shame that we miss him, and it was great to know him. So I hope you enjoyed this look at Bonfils and at Newsstand Library, Good Girl Art. And if you do, give us a thumbs up and a like, and see you next time.